in supporting student learning in the classroom and beyond. Help us make this the best school year yet.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson from Lincoln Public Schools on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, welcome back Sunday on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Final Score. I'm Peter Ferguson from Peter Ferguson LLC and Lincoln Public Schools. Glad to be back. Welcome back, Harrison.
Yeah, how's it going, Pete?
You know,
I know the Cowboys are out of the mix now, so I was a little worried about you coming in here this morning.
I'm still a little salty. You're gonna see those who know me. I post I don't want to say a baby picture, but an infant picture with me every Sunday in that onesie. I always say it's that Christmas Story onesie. A lot of these kids today don't know about that. And so I am going to continue to do that.
Okay.
I'm not watching any of the games. I'm just boycotting.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm just not. I'm not feeling it. I will not say. I'm not gonna say any of the teams, but I had my Southwest Airlines pulled up.
Okay.
I had it like, okay, Philly, when can I get in? I was watching, and then about that last minute and a half, I was just like, man, I can't. It's
yeah.
over.
I mean, if you want to watch the Cowboys in the playoffs, it's got to be the divisional round.
Wow, he's just going all in.
I'm sorry, DT. I mean, he would want me to do it.
He went. They went all in all week. I mean. Empire, I was ready to go ahead and bring my stuff in. I was going to leave gifts. I was going to drop in on every show, but a year they got farther than most, and so it's that disappointing, that heartbreak. But I'll be back next year. But you're going to see a couple posts this week.
Hey, you know what? And they're still a good team. If you're to be fair, it's like it's kind of where you expected them, right? Top 6, but We'll leave that to the side because we do have a great show on Bigger Than the Score today. We're going from 8 to 9 o'clock. We do have quite a few guests that we're going to bring on later in the show. And if you guys want to chime in, you can hit up the Sartor Hamann text line, 402-464-5685. So, Pete, why don't you go ahead and break down what we have coming up for the show?
Yeah, got a lot of things going on. And like I said, again, as we always kind of recap that, things are in full swing. I mean, with high school and middle school and honestly, even elementary level. And that's what I'm really excited about today. I think sometimes we really focus on that high school and what's going on the collegiate level, but they all got to get their start somewhere. And so, we're going to focus today on something that's been near and dear to my heart, but also has had a lot of people involved in it. It's the Roadrunner Classic over at Norwood Park. And there's been some extensions to that. And so we've got some scholars in Phoenix, who's been a longtime participant, also the most valuable person of the Classic, I believe, at least once. And then Chloe, who's also been somebody who's been impacted by it, and then Dana Berger, who I would say a longtime colleague, but has known me in those early days. I'd say I was still supporting the Cowboys at that time. So Dana, who's the community director over at the Community Learning Center. So, with that being said, I mean, I think just, getting out, there was a 3 overtime JV game for the girls team over at between East and Lincoln Southwest on Friday. And so, a lot of people focused on the boys game, the girls game, but that JV game ended up 3 overtimes, which is something you don't really always see. Middle school boys basketball is kind of kicking off. So they had that. I have to give Christian Smith, who's a player over at Scott. He was like, I listen every now and then. Get on the show, and I said, I got to see you show up and show out. So he had a game over at Goodrich, and so I want to give a shout out to Christian Smith. And we had a couple other the show choirs, and those performances going on. I know over at East, I believe Saturday they had the the Spartan Spectacular show choir performance. So I mean, groups from across the area. I mean, they work all year for a lot of different things, but this was, I talked about Northwest. I know we had Rob Salenstein on, the band director, but I got to give a shout out to John Marquez, first ever performance for the Northwest. I mean, everything's going to be first all year, but first ever performance for them. They got in the finals and ended up 3rd.
Oh, that's incredible.
Which is saying a lot. I mean, he had a choir that performed in a couple of things this week, and to be honest, he's had individuals who've never sang in a choir.
Really?
They have showed up and showed out. So I've got to just give some love to them. And I think it's Laura Breed, who's also the associate director for that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing about the show, right? You get to hear there's new schools coming up in Lincoln, and we get to hear bits and pieces from everyone. Because the show, I love this show, Pete, because it's a community thing, right? And you get to learn about the people that are coming up in your community and some of the the mentors that are there for them as well. So it's great to hear these stories, and we'll hear all of that ahead. But definitely stay tuned in because, like I said, it's a lot of great stories, and the show it lets you know about our community and a lot of the great things happening, people coming up in our community, the mentors we have in place. So definitely stay tuned in. We're gonna go ahead and go to break now. But it's going to be a full show ahead. So be sure to stay tuned in to Bigger Than Score on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We'll be back right after this break.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, employment program, and a bonus program. Build a better career today. Great culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Brett Maravich 4 extra points against the Cowboys. As a special teams coach, what do you do in that situation? First of all, you get back to routine. You don't overplay it a bunch where it's just like, think about this. I'd like to know he always stayed on the hash, on the left hash. All those misses came from the left hash. You can put the ball in the middle, or you can put it on the right hash. I wonder why he didn't change. If he just felt, hey, this is what I do. So that would be an interesting question to ask.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and check your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jagnick. I served in the United States Air Force and deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jagnick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as 1 pack of cigarettes.
My kiddos at Stanford.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Councel.
And my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation.
In August 2020, after the death of George Floyd, Bridget Floyd and other family members established the George Floyd Memorial Foundation in support of the Black community.
It's going to take more than just us as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to change.
Fight for racial justice for the Black community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action. Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. He was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
AARP.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jagnick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately, in that year, that was my own brother, Corporal Adam Jackson, made suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, only for myself and my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My serve never stops.
Brought to you by Family Fire and the Ad Council. I wanted to work for so long, but didn't know where to start.
I was afraid of what people would think. But then I found the right support to start my recovery. 1 in 14 Americans report experiencing a substance use disorder, a treatable medical condition. Treatment can take many forms, so there are a variety of options to explore and find the one that works best for you. Recovery from drug addiction is possible.
Paid for by the CDC, sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I'm an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5. But I am the camping influencer. You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
Put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson from Lincoln Public Schools on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Final Score. This is Pete Ferguson, Peter Ferguson, BHS LLC, and Lincoln Public Schools. Excited, joined here by two, I guess I always want to say, scholar and a colleague, a friend, and we're going to just jump right into it. So we've got Dana Berger here, who is the director of the Community Learning Center at Norwood Park, but she's much more than that. She's a community stakeholder extraordinaire. I've known, she'll tell you probably our connection from, but it's ironic, it's National Mentoring Month. And so big brothers, big sisters. So I think that's where we made our first connection. And then we got Scholar Phoenix here. So welcome both of y'all.
Thank you, Pete. We're so glad to be on here. We're excited to talk about our Roadrunner Classic.
Awesome. Well, we're going to get into that and so much more. But Anna, first off, just tell us a little bit about who you are. Have you always lived in Lincoln? Kind of your journey to this point, briefly.
Yeah, I have been. I was calculating it before I came on today, and it's like 29 years in Lincoln. Oh my goodness. I grew up down between Auburn and Falls City is originally where I'm from.
Okay.
And I came up to Lincoln for college, came up to SEC and got my human services degree at SEC. And that's kind of where it all started in Lincoln and working in the youth development field. So yeah, lots of time in there. It makes me feel really old thinking about how long I've been in Lincoln.
Well, Harrison, she's talking about how old she's been in Lincoln. Harrison just got that facial hair stuff. He's looking at you like, how old I've been in Lincoln. So you tell us a little bit. You've worked a couple different places prior to getting, but it's always been youth development. Kind of tell us about that journey.
Well, right after college, I was at Leaders.
Okay.
I think for human services staff or human services students, that's the first place we go in Lincoln.
I was going to say that's not on your resume. Then there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Jim Blue has got it. He's like that's the internship and the entry door. Yeah.
And so started there and working directly with the kids in the homes. Then I went to Big Brothers Big Sisters, and that's where we met over 20 years ago.
I was going to say under the leadership of Julie Cervantes Solomons over there. Yeah.
Yes, and so was there for 16 years, and then I moved to the Community Learning Center. Wow. So it's been a journey, but it's been a lot of fun. So
fantastic. And so, as you've been over, so obviously our connection kind of started at Big Brothers Big Sisters, but then you transitioned over to that Community Learning Centers. Tell people who don't know what a Community Learning Center is, tell them what that is and how that connects when we're talking about school districts and the importance and the role that plays.
Well, Lincoln Community, the CLCs is what most people know it as. And we are the before and after school program. We're a full service community school. That's what we want people to know, is that we're not just a daycare. We are, giving programming for kids that they might not normally get before and after school. We're doing a lot of amazing things. I know, today we're talking about basketball, but Norwood Park is known for our STEM programming. Yeah. You'll hear from Phoenix, and Phoenix has been a big part of our coding and our robots. So it's just a place where kids can come and be safe and have fun and learn. That's really what it's about.
Awesome. And so with that, Phoenix, you are tell me what grade are you? Fifth grade. You're top of the hill right now. You're running the school. You're administration over there, aren't you? You're okay. Oh, yeah. Look, you said that with confidence too. So I like. So Phoenix, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and have you always gone to school, and just kind of a couple other things.
I've been at Norwood Park since kindergarten.
Okay.
And it's a fun and nice school.
Okay. So I like he gave that hand gesture right there. He was like, nice school. I like that. So what is the best part of Norwood Park? If somebody has never been to Norwood Park, tell us what is one thing that you would say that they need to know about Norwood Park?
The staff.
The staff? Wow. What about, what we've had that kind of as a theme on individuals when we talk about relationships, and I kind of keep going back to that mentoring month.
Yeah.
Like, what about staff there that makes them like so special?
They treat you, and then the after school program too.
Okay.
And yeah.
Awesome. So we always have to do this. Give a shout out. Like, who's in your family? You got some people here. You got your paparazzi here. I don't know if you know what that means, but people taking pictures. So who's in your family?
My mom, my dad.
Okay.
Grandpa.
Awesome.
Who else?
Fantastic.
You're leaving somebody out. You have a brother.
Look, he's like, no, I'm not leaving anybody out, Miss Berger. This is my time, not about my brother. So with that, I want to ask you a question. So the Norwood Classic, I mean, there's other components that go with it, but this is something that's been 15 years in existence. Started myself, but JJ Cox and a couple different things. Tell us about the impact that's had, and what is it? What is it, and what makes it so special?
Well, we need to go back to JJ Cox also being a part of Big Brothers Big Sisters, right? You and him were board members, and that was way before I was at Norwood Park. And so the Roadrunner Classic is a chance for our scholars to go and have a basketball game. A lot of them aren't able to be a part of the Y Leagues or anything else in town. And so it gives them a chance to, we have a club, it's a basketball club. And so for 6 weeks, they practice, they get their skills, and then we play a game. And so it's a lot of fun. And as we know, it's not about the score, it's about the smiles on their faces and how much fun they're having, waving at their parents on the side. And it's a good time. So.
Well, and Phoenix, you've been a part of it, and I think kind of some of the clinics, we do annually a clinic that goes along with it. So I think after, the origins of it, I remember my daughter was like in 3rd grade, and we just wanted to get, in 3rd grade, you don't really play games or whatever else. And so we're like, let's just, it'd be cool to have a game with fans and whatever, and just let people enjoy themselves. And, kind of connected with Jay at Norwood Park, and we did it, and families came. And I will tell you, Harrison, we're definitely going to invite you this year. When that first basket went in, and the national anthem was saying, by the Boy Scouts, and they came in, and it was just absolutely amazing to see just the light in everybody's eye on both teams. And so, Phoenix, you've been a part of that. Tell me what that experience is like for you.
It was good. You'd practiced for about an hour.
Okay.
Runs about an hour.
And then
you got some people at the university who probably listen right now, like, I would love that right now.
And they would provide stuff with before games.
Okay.
Like Gatorade bottles, protein, whatever. And then they would drive you there.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you got everything. So you got the Gatorade, you got all the necessities. You had practice, you had Gatorade and protein.
Yeah.
I mean,
and jersey.
And the jersey. That's the essential part right there. So what is you talked about infants in that. What is your favorite memory from that game and that experience?
Making a bucket.
Okay. Was it layup, 3-pointer?
Free throw.
Oh, we got the free. Hey,
free throw for a reason.
Hey, Harrison, we're shipping them over to Huskers and a couple other places. The free throw component. Hey, you're on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. I'm Peter Ferguson here with Harrison, and so we're here with 2 individuals. Just talking not only just about relationships, I love how Phoenix kind of pointed out like the best thing about Norwood Park was relationships, but also components associated with an event, the Norwood Park Classic, clinics that go on there. Dana, tell us a little bit about just kind of some of the other components that go on with that, that are aligned with Norwood Park that kind of help complement the mission of not only Norwood Park but the CLC.
I just think that, the partnerships, we talked a little bit about the partnerships with Southwest and them coming over and building relationships with the kids every year. It may just be for an hour, hour and a half, but the kids remember that, they get to spend that one-on-one time with them, get to know them. Outside of that, we've been able to take, a van down to state basketball and cheer them on. We made our own signs when the girls made it to a couple years ago when they made it to the championship. We were able to cheer them on. So it's it's the simple things. I think people forget about that. It's about the relationships. It's about just friendships, right? And I think that that's a huge part to all of this is the partnerships with the Cat family and Gatorade and Southwest. We've been able to do a lot of things with this partnership that we would have never been able to do, which is a blessing.
Well, and I think when you talk about some of those components and, just as far as whether it be the clinic or the relationships or the connections, and we'll talk about some of those things, whether it be, I think about, the April's Kids Foundation who, we've had scholars participate and help kind of underwrite some of those opportunities, experience the Koff family, I remember my daughter having the opportunity to be experienced with the clinics, Coach Barrett, who's now at Southwest, but really initially Coach Rump, who was absolutely instrumental. We talk about saying yes to the ask, who's come over and that Southwest girls basketball team has done not a clinic, but just they've done an engagement to connect that goes beyond just that day and beyond the borders.
Well, and not just basketball too, right?
Yeah.
Pete, it's also been the softball team.
Yeah.
Coach Watt brought them over before he retired from Southwest. We had a day where the softball team came over and played outside, and it's just so cool to see everybody, interact with each other and just have fun.
Awesome. So Phoenix, you talked a little bit about just, that experience of the game or whatever else, but tell us, and you talked about relationships, tell us who's been somebody who's been a mentor to you, somebody who's meant a great deal to you and kind of helped shape who you are right now.
Teammates, coaches.
Awesome. And so you've had teammates. So what do you look for in a what makes a good teammate? So if somebody's out there getting ready to be on a team or you're going to play with them, what would you say, hey, in order for you to be a good teammate, you need to be this?
You got to pass.
You got to pass the ball? Okay. Man, people are going to love you. Okay. So being a good teammate, you got to pass. Okay. And so what would be some advice that you would give to other teammates?
Don't be a hog.
Okay. So don't be a hog. So also, love that. Pass and don't be a hog.
Don't be a hog.
Right there. You're already getting signed. I think you're going to get an NIL deal and a couple other things already on that. So what's some advice that you would give to, honestly, parents who are kind of supporting their children, whether it be in sports, whether it be kind of in academics? What's some advice that you would give to parents?
Don't give up.
Wow. I think that's huge when you said that. So what do you mean by that when you say, like, for parents, like, don't give up? Like, when do you see a parent possibly, not your parents, but when do you see parents kind of giving up on or when do you see adults giving up on young people?
Like parents saying, like, you got to do better. Like you got to be a supportive parent and, like, say, you got this, something like that.
Wow. I think I might actually have you say that again, because I think oftentimes we this reaches a lot of individuals and reaches some parents, and I think sometimes we forget about that. We coined this as bigger than the score. But say again what you said that parents can do to make the experience not only just in sports but also school better.
Like, just don't give up on them. Help them what they want to reach their goal, and be supportive.
Awesome. One more question for you. So what would you tell your friends? Okay. And I'm not going to say your friends. What would you tell? We got some high school scholars that oftentimes come in here and they're playing sports right now. Season's kind of midway through the year. Some of them are really excited. Some of them are kind of like, I can't wait for this to be done. Okay. And I've been to a couple games and I've seen kind of Harrison is kind of, we both see kind of that body language. What would you tell to those scholars that are playing high school sports right now that things aren't necessarily going the way they want them to go?
Practice more. Practice makes perfect.
Okay.
Ask your teammates to help you out, or just be a good teammate.
Wow. And what would you? I'm gonna ask again. What would you tell the coaches that might be a little frustrated right now? That things aren't necessarily going the way that they had hoped they would go, maybe at the beginning of the season.
Extend the time for the students or teammates.
Wow. You said extend that time for the teammates and students. I mean, Harrison, I don't know if you do. I mean, when I'm sitting there, we're gonna have you in a huddle. I think we're gonna call down the university. DP is gonna hook you up. We're gonna get you in some team's huddle. I might take you to a couple high schools. I really like that. Talk to about Phoenix. What is it like getting each and every day to engage with individuals like Phoenix? We're gonna have Chloe on here a little bit later, but what is that like?
I have goosebumps over here just listening to him. What has been awesome is that Phoenix and Chloe, this is my first kindergarten class. So this is the first group of kids that I'm going to see from kindergarten to 5th grade.
Wow.
And I'm going to get a little emotional because I love these kids. Chloe, we will talk to Chloe in a little bit. She's with me every day. Phoenix is with me during clubs. And so I've been there with them. And as we know, Norwood Park's a really small school. I have We Are Family on, and that's what we are. We are family. And that's what I love about Norwood Park. I grew up in a really small community, graduated with 30 in my class. That's why I love Norwood Park so much, is because it has that small community feel. We're really close, and I'm so proud of them. And, that's why he's here. That's why he's here talking, is because this is who he is. Phoenix is a great scholar, and he's going to do a lot of great things. And I'm just happy and blessed to be alongside him, seeing this happen, him growing up. It's just awesome.
Wow. Well, and you can just see the how things resonate. And I think if anybody gets that opportunity, there's a tremendous opportunity at Norwood Park.
Yes.
I know it sometimes doesn't get all the attention, but it's a blue ribbon school, I believe,
Yeah, it was,
as well.
Yeah, it's a great place. And like Phoenix said when he was talking about the teachers and the staff, we work together. There's not, you'll see different CLCs and schools, and at Norwood Park, you don't see two places. You see one school.
Awesome.
And that just explains it. We are family, and support each other and encourage each other to do the best that we can.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're getting ready to go to break, but Phoenix, I definitely want to thank you. Then they hear from when we bring Chloe on. But Phoenix, as we leave, 3 words or 1 sentence that you want to tell everybody.
Do a good job.
Man, we can't go on a better break on that right there. Hey, this is 92.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, for Garner Industries, a world venture with a 7-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
This message is for Karina. Our mom will finish her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Meredith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, finish your high school diploma for you and for them. .org to find free and support adult education for you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was troubling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse club shooting that affected the LGBTQ community. Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love. It's lost.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get and it's easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC, sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation.
In August 2020, after the death of George Floyd, Bridgewood and other family members established Floyd Memorial Foundation in support of the Black community.
It's going to take more than just us as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to make a change.
Fight for racial justice for the Black community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Why do people hate alternate uniforms? What is the problem with the university or players wanting to have some type of fun? People are like, oh, well, Penn State and Michigan and Alabama, they don't change uniforms. They just go out there and they play football games. That's cool. You can do alternate uniforms and still be a blue blood. It's something that could attract recruits. And yes, I understand.
Yeah, as sad as that is.
Winning attracts recruits. That's all you need to do is win. I don't. Shut up.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safe.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
I'm president of the Nebraska State Education Association. It's a new year. One resolution that should be a priority is to make reading part of your child's daily routine. Kick off the new year by making reading a priority in your home. Read to your child. Let them read to you. Make every day an opportunity to sharpen your child's language skills while expanding their vocabulary and knowledge.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is how we do every day. We grind it.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mom's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
My name is Rebecca. I struggled with depression for years. I also smoked. That was my world. Finally, I realized that smoking wasn't helping me. It was making my life worse. So I took control and I quit. Now I'm able to run again and talks with my grandkids. My tip is there's another world out there, and it's a beautiful place to be.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-489. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson from Lincoln Public School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC and also Lincoln Public Schools. Had a great first segment, Harrison. I know we were kind of chopping it up during the break.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it always surprises me. I see some of these guys. I remember the first time I talked on the mic, I lost my breath at one sentence. It was gone. I was so nervous. And then Phoenix comes up here, and he's just already just cool and collected. And we're gonna have a chance to hear from Chloe here as well. And I believe she's already been on before,
Yeah.
so we got a little bit of professionalism going on. So again, shout out to the people we have Phoenix, and we're gonna have Chloe here. But again, just really well spoken, and it's bigger than the sport. You can learn about the community, and it's great when we have these people in here. And again, just very well spoken individuals at that.
Well, without question, and it's kind of cool. Mike texted me, and he was just like, "Hey, we need to take your spot." Dude. He said, "You probably say one of them. I've got some other Cowboys takes, but I'm gonna stay away from those. There's shows about them." Hey, Harrison, too, if they want to get in touch with us, they can go to the Honda of Lincoln hotline, start hitting the text line at 402-464-5685.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead. We'll keep it going here. And like I said, Chloe, you've been on here before, right? This isn't your first time on the ticket. So I heard you're a little bit of a navigator on how to get down here along the way as well. So Pete, I'll throw it back to you, and we'll kind of dive in here on Chloe's story a little bit, as well as Dana getting to know her.
Sounds good. So, Chloe, we're talking about Dana a little bit, but Chloe, tell us a little bit about who you are. Where you go to school. Have you always lived in Lincoln? Go ahead. Just even those repeat listeners, you know who you are. Go ahead and give it to them again.
Okay, so I go to Norwood Park, and I've always lived in Lincoln.
Okay. At what grade? Okay, so we got 2 fifth graders. So between both of y'all, we've got principal, we got the associate principal. I mean, we got everybody. So, Chloe, tell us a little bit about what do you like to do?
Just in my free time?
Yeah, in your free time.
Probably write stories and read books.
Okay, so I'm gonna delve a little deeper. What kind of stories do you like to write? You like those biographies, those fictional stories? I mean, Harris and I are looking for some authors, maybe to write our life stories. Is that something you can do?
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. Favorite class or subject? I won't say favorite class. I don't want any teachers left out.
Reading.
All right. Awesome. So, Chloe, you've been involved, and Dana, we're going to kind of shift to you a little bit. Chloe's been involved you talked about this is your kindergarten, these are your babies kind of going through. And so she's been involved with the Norwood Classic, been involved with other kind of opportunities that have come, connections, whether it be community offerings within that kind of Havelock area, but also those connections with those opportunities like the clinics that Lincoln Southwest has provided. And I would say clinics, those experiential opportunities that they've provided, not only just basketball, but also softball as well. So talk a little bit about what those have been like, what those experiences are like when they get to engage with other individuals.
Well, and I think that's what it's all about, right? We can do so much every day to day, but when we can bring new people in, new faces into the building, or if we go places, we try to take field trips to experience different things. And I think it just broadens, their learning. They get to learn different things, get to build different friendships. I think about with Chloe, she's been able to do a lot of things because she's also with me during the summer. So we have summer care, and we've been able to go out to the prairie. We've been able to do lots of different things in our community. Do you have one? Go ahead.
We did swimming last year.
We did. We gave them swimming lessons through the Y. That was really awesome. We've never been able to do anything like that. And we partnered up with the Y to give everybody swimming lessons.
Wow.
And we did that during summer school, during June and I think July. I can't remember when it was, but all of the kids that were in our care got swimming lessons for 8 weeks.
Wow.
So, or 8 times, 8 sessions we got to go. And so, just really giving them that experience to find what they love.
Right.
She does love to write. I'm interested about the reading. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was
I'm
gonna
have to
say,
put some more
yeah.
books in her hands, maybe. But she does love to journal and write, and I love seeing that.
Well, I think with the reading part, I think we can get you a bestseller from DP. So just released one of his books. So
There we
we're going
go.
to make sure we get that into your hands as well.
Yeah, and real quick from the text line, maybe you know him. We do have Sebastian. He said Hi, Chloe Sebastian from 5th grade Norwood Park, listening and enjoying the show. So is Sebastian a friend? You know Sebastian?
Sebastian, he's one of our kids.
There
That's
you
awesome.
go. Thanks, bro.
CLC kids.
There
So
you go.
awesome, Sebastian.
Raising the roof right there.
Yeah.
So then one of the transitions. So in 2019, an opportunity presented itself, and I want to get into that a little bit. Obviously, we were having the experiences. The classic had happened. Even prior to that, we've actually, expanded a little bit. We were able to take a group from Phil Maynard, who was here earlier, at one of the sessions. We were able to take the group that he was connected with at Brownell, and we took them. They actually played at halftime of a Husker game during the middle of the day, and it just was like it was golden in so many ways. And so 2019 happened right before COVID. Emma Koff was a participant in one of the experiences and came over, and she ended up being Gatorade Softball Player of the Year. And through that connection, she got to submit for some additional. I think you could submit for one person in the country got to submit for additional dollars, and she ended up being selected. And talk about like what happened. And I remember that call being made to you.
That was amazing. Emma is an amazing person, and her family's amazing. I think the big part of all of this is this partnership and just the feel of a family, with her. That was in 2019.
Yeah.
And she's still connected to our program. Her parents are still connected to our program. They're always thinking about us. It's not just about the dollars, right?
Well, and with that, but with that Player of the Award, you like
huge.
National Player, you got $10,000, and she
then-
could donate it to one organization, and chose Norwood Park because of her involvement and the experience, but also how the scholars like Phoenix and Chloe impacted her.
Yeah, and she did it. I think, wasn't it all 4 years?
Yes.
All 4 years in high school, she came over, and that was the other part of Coach Watt coming over, right? Like they came over. Emma came back. She's the catcher for Georgia Tech. She's a senior this year, and she's still doing amazing things out there, winning awards for her community involvement. She's like a big sister to these guys, right? Like she is. We wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for Emma and the Gatorade Award. That's I think overall we received $11,000 with that, and so that's what keeps the classic going every year. It allows us to give the kids sweatshirts. A couple years ago, all of them got sweatshirts with their names on the back, and I think that was the same year that the Brownell kids went down and played during the halftime. We've been able to do a lot of great things and give the kids experiences they wouldn't have normally been able to have. And so it's just a blessing. The family is amazing at Christmas. They're always calling me, "What do you need, Dana?" They're always looking out for us, and it's such a blessing.
Well, and I think looking at that, Chloe, tell us a little bit. You've been involved in the experiences when people have come over, but also Emma. Like, what have those been like? What do you like about those when those happen each year?
It's fun because you get to meet new people and you get to see what they do in their everyday life.
Yeah.
Well, and you've gotten to go to a couple games as well.
Yeah.
So what has that been like? I think you got to go to Pinnacle Bank Arena. I remember you coming to a couple high school games. Like, what is that like when you get to see that and be involved in that experience?
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
What tell me a little bit about that, because I remember seeing the pictures. Like, what you said, it was crazy. Like, what's that atmosphere like? What did you like most about it?
Like little things will happen, and then all of a sudden, the whole place just gets super loud.
Yeah, you got to go to one of the state games. And so getting to see that atmosphere is absolutely nuts. So what is the thing that you are looking most forward to? I know you're 5th grade right now, but what are you looking most forward to as you get ready to go to middle school?
Probably getting to do more things and just experiencing more stuff.
Yeah, your middle school is going to have to work. You've done a ton. You've done swimming, you've done baseball, you've gone to state state, contest. So I'm excited for you in a lot of ways. Tell us a little bit too about who have been important people in your life. I asked Phoenix earlier about family, so I don't want to be remiss. Who's in your family?
Well, my dad's standing over there.
There you go. Dad's taking the photos and getting the video reel for you.
My mom's probably watching this right
Okay.
now.
Okay. Shout out to mom.
I have a sister. I don't know what she's doing. but-
Okay. You acknowledged her though.
Yeah,
Phoenix
you called
went
her
ahead
out.
and deleted it. You acknowledged her.
And I have a dog. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. What are some relationships outside of your family that have been important to you?
probably the big brothers and big sisters.
Awesome. And why, like, what makes that so special?
Probably because they don't like live with you, so it's like you don't see them every day, but like you get to see them here and there, and you get fun things with them.
Awesome. And so if somebody was going to be like, if you were going to be, a big, so to speak, okay, or a mentor to somebody or the coach, I'll just put it this way, you're going to get to be the coach. What is one important thing that a coach needs to either be or say?
Work hard and cheer on. Like I'd say, someone gets hurt, like help them, but don't like be like, why'd you get hurt? Or something like that.
Fantastic. I think my daughter would have liked that before past that. What's one thing as a player that you expect from a teammate?
Don't get mad easily over a little thing.
I like that. What's a piece of advice that you would have for parents? Your dad's right there. He's filming this. He's gonna go ahead and take this out now.
To be strong and know that they can make it.
Wow. I like that. That's the you said be strong and know that they can make it. Why would that be important?
Because I know some parents don't believe in their kids, but I know they can make it there, and you just should trust them.
Wow.
Good job.
Wow, I think Harrison, when you start hearing that, I'm like, that's
cool and collected,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Everything she's saying, it's pretty. I like it. It's just very level headed. Like, don't get over emotional and just keep believing in yourself. So, that absolutely just strong words from Chloe. And sometimes it's simple as that, right? Just don't get over emotional and just believe in yourself. So I love what you said there.
Well, and I think you talked about that connection too. And I think when we say, for me, it's always relationships matter. It's not a plan, it's not a, it's not a policy, it's not a practice, but it matters. So what are you looking forward to? You got the game coming up this year. I'm gonna have Dan tell us, when it is, and we've with support and things like that. What are you looking forward to most this year with the game?
That they need to work hard.
Okay, you need to work hard. So what, is it the choir coming out and singing? Is it the halftime? I think sometimes we get the parents out there shooting half-court shots. We have relay. Is it me reffing? We're going to have to get some other refs in here. So I'm putting a call out this year right now. If our listeners or any of the 93.7, the ticket staff, we get this game broadcast, we need some other refs because Pete's out there huffing and puffing. It's about in the quarter. I was like, hey, hold up, I'm calling timeout. Either coach, I didn't call a timeout. No, we need to go to an instant review so I can catch my breath. Chloe, what are you looking forward to in this year's game?
Won't you be singing?
No.
You're not singing this
You're
year?
not singing this year? You're under contract. She's under contract with
our
Motown.
chorus comes out and sings the national anthem.
I mean, aren't we doing like the news there this year?
She actually will be the media.
Oh,
we have
watch out.
Roadrunner Media this year.
Watch out
It's
now.
going to be out there, maybe doing some side court interviews with players. We have Roadrunner News this quarter, so they're going to be out there taking pictures. We're gonna have our photography club's going to be out there taking pictures.
Okay.
And our Roadrunner News is going to be doing. They're going to have some lanyards with some media on there.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
So they're going to be doing interviews and making things happen behind the scenes.
Oh, I might have to stay on the court. You going to interview the rest at all?
You could.
She was like, I don't know. We need interesting people or whatever. No, that is absolutely awesome. So then tell us a little bit, like, when is the game this year? And I know we've had tremendous support. We talked about the Koff family, but we also CLC. I'll have to be perfectly honest. April's Kids has been a long-standing supporter in regard to that. We've had some private donors who have helped support it. It's not something we do for a cost. It's happening regardless. But when is the game? And if people want more information, how can they kind of connect with you?
It will be this year. It's going to be February 28th. It'll start at 6:00 with our flags and with our chorus coming out to sing. I think that it will run probably, usually it's about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, yeah.
And so if you have any questions, it'll be at Norwood Park. The space is kind of small, but we always fill up those chairs. We put chairs all the way around that gym, and usually there's people standing watching. So if you have any questions about getting involved, you can contact me. At Norwood Park, you call and just ask for Dana Berger, and they will send it to me. But we'd love for people to come out, just to witness it. It's just I have trouble going to sleep at night, and I know you do too. After the classic, we get so excited about how much fun we have, and then it's hard to go to dial down and go to bed at night. So it's a good time.
Hey, you know what? I want to first off, I appreciate Dana, who you are, what you're about, your investment. You talked about these are your babies, but you, when you talk about youth and you talk about development, you've definitely elevated it to something that's bigger than the score. Chloe, you are absolutely fantastic and awesome. I can't wait to get covered by the media as my first time as a ref. Phoenix, just keep crushing it. And so, as we said, again, you are here on 93.7 The Ticket, bigger than the score. This is Peter Ferguson. I always say, I often forget what people have said. I often forget what people have done. But Maya Angelou said, I always remember how people have made you feel. And so if you get a chance, check out the Norwood Classic, contact Dana, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.